Hello and welcome to another episode of Inner Magic Podcast. I'm Nives, intuitive coach for women navigating career transitions and who would like to build authentic, purpose-driven business and life that inspires them, that energizes them, and that gives them freedom. And today I would like to talk about that voice inside us, the one that always seems to have something to say, our inner critic. Or maybe it would be better to say it's about how to embrace our inner critic. Because life isn't black and white. Life is a mosaic of duality. And to recognize what is good by some our definitions we have at the moment, we need to experience what it is not. Like, for example, we know what white color, it's only because we've seen black. And we've seen that black is darker than white. And it's the same with our life experience. All of them are necessary so we can make better decisions in the future. And whenever we face something new, whether we choose it or we just find ourselves in some new situation, the first thing that usually shows up is that inner warning voice. And as I said, whether we've consciously chosen a new situation or direction, or maybe we find ourselves in an unexpected situation, the moment we step out of what is familiar, our inner voice starts flipping through consciousness, through subconscious memories. It pulls out some old experiences from deep drawers and asks, is this safe? This is the only question it is interested in. Because that's its job, to protect us, to keep us safe. And when that voice shows up, we often react in one of two ways. We either believe it and we start doubting ourselves, doubting our ideas, our plans, or we try to ignore it. We push it down, silence it. But there is also a third way, a gentler way. And in my experience, a much more effective one. And that way it looks like this. I sit down, I close my eyes, I take a deep breath, and I let this voice speak to me. And I listen. Listen what it has to say. I feel it in my body, not just with my mind, but with my body. Where do I feel this idea that it's trying to convey to me? What does it tell me about myself? What belief it's still living in me, that one that no longer serves me? And when I feel it clearly in my body, then I see whether it's a good feeling, it's a bad feeling, how do I feel about it? And I thank it. I thank it for protecting me, for caring for me, for making sure I am safe. And then gently I tell it, it's okay now. I've got this. I'm a grown up now, so let me lead this one. Let me try. You will see. And yes, it will come back again later, probably. But when it does, we can listen again. We can again softly, with presence, listen to it, accept what it says, and then we can also trick it sometimes. We can say, let me do it just this one time. Let's see what's gonna happen. And what helps the most in this process, it's actually falling in love with the process itself, with the process of whatever we have chosen to do. And I know it sounds like a cliche, but how many times have you heard that and not really done it? And the process is actually the only real place we ever are. Because the goal is always shifting. It's always changing. In somewhere in the future, in some imaginative future, and actually it doesn't really even exist. So when we take a step back, we can often smile and say, aha, here we are again. And then we get a chance to be kind to ourselves. Because when that voice comes, that's actually a sign that we are on the path. It means that we are walking on some new road. It means that we are growing, we are going somewhere. Because we are not here to live in some permanent Zen bubble. And the sooner we learn to feel okay, even in the uncomfortable moments, the more fun, the more fluid and light our path becomes. And if someone tells you that with a certain practice or certain exercise, you will live in a constant bliss, I would avoid that. Because, first of all, that's not a life. And honestly, I don't think that's even possible. Because we need to experience. We need to grow in our life. We are not like a fish. Fish, they don't know that there is a water around them. They don't know they're in the water because they've never experienced anything else. But we do feel the world around us. We do choices. We do create. And that's why we can be grateful for every experience. Because, for example, for me, if I hadn't worked in a high-stress job, maybe today I would find my job boring, not giving me freedom. Or if I hadn't been surrounded by so many people 24/7, I might not have learned to appreciate solitude. Or if I hadn't grown up in a city, most probably I wouldn't appreciate the nature and the silence the way I do now. And so even when life gives you the experience you don't really ask for, maybe this is so you can more clearly recognize what you do want. and also what you don't want. In a way, those are like our lessons. And when they come, you can say, thank you. Now I know. I understand. I've learned the lesson. And we are not made to be perfect. We were made to be real, to feel, to choose, to make mistakes, to create from within, from who we truly are. So if this resonates with you, and if you are maybe in a season of change and would love to be a part of a space where you can move through it gently, safely, and be supported by the community, my Soul-Based Mastermind groups are currently open for enrollment. You can find links down below in the comments, or you can send me a message if you feel like. I love reading those comments, so I would like to meet you and hear your story. And that's all from me for today. Thank you for being here with me until the end of this video, until the end of this episode. If you haven't done it yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's completely free and I really appreciate it. And I hope something in this inspired you or sparked something new inside you. I wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Bye for now.